Yo, what's good? AllNet, NoRim. We are back with another video. We got Stealth, the producer. That is me. You know what I'm saying? Doughboy Bush. We back, man. What's good with my brother, man?
What up, gang gang?
Oh man. So we are in the middle, pretty much in the middle of the NBA season. I know it's been a while since we've been on. Again, I feel like I'm always apologizing for that, but we back. You know what I'm saying? We had a rough little, you know what I'm saying, busy last couple months. So we're going to get back rolling and talk about this NBA season as we head towards 2026. All-Stars coming, about a month or so-ish, month and a half or so. So that's going to be coming. Trade season is going to be upon us. We're already hearing about some stuff now. So we're going to be back talking about it all. But today we are talking about the Emirates Cup, man. We just finished watching the game, the New York Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs, and the Knicks won 124-113. And yeah, man. So this is the third year of this, I believe. So we had the Lakers win the first year, Bucks win last year, and the Knicks won this year. And the first year, like, it was kind of weird. Like, we really didn't know, like, what to think about it. You know what I'm saying? So now we're kind of getting the feel for what's going on here. Man, let's fire off, man. What are your thoughts on the Emirates Cup right now? This whole midseason tournament and things like that, with it being the third year. To me, I thought this is a hell of a game, by the way. Like, I felt like,
yes, it was. The intensity was there.
Yeah. I feel like when there's stakes involved and, championships involved, even though it's mid-season, it's not the championship, but, extra money, over $500,000 or whatever, these players, they want that. They playing for that, and this is a big stage to play at as well. A lot of people watching Amazon, there's no football on tonight, you know what I mean? So it was a big stage. What are your thoughts on this tournament though?
I wasn't really too shabby about it when it first initially got brought to the world, and the way it presented. Like you stated, the first game, we really didn't know what to expect. The excitement wasn't really there. I really don't remember too much of last year's one, because I don't know if I really watched it like that, to be honest. So this one, I actually stayed glued to it, watched it from start to finish. It seemed like the intensity was there. It seemed like these boys were really playing hard, especially when it was so close, a 5-point game, 2-point game, tied up, the intensity and the energy was.
Nah, they were playing. They were playing tonight, hustling, going for loose balls, rebounding, big shots. You know what I'm saying? So
I was kind of shocked, and it kept me entertained. Normally when you have some of these games like this, especially from a pro level, guys don't really be too in tune to it, because they don't want to go ahead and really hurt themselves, or they don't want to go ahead and have the chances of tiring themselves out for the later push after All-Star break.
Right.
But if Adam Silver keeps this up, I think that this could be something that could be possibly productive and keep people entertained to watch it. But it can't be one of the games where teams come in and they're lethargic and they're just like, okay, we want to hurry and get this done and over with.
I'm not gonna lie, man, with this being the third year, and this is technically, like you said, the third game of the Emirates Cup, I'm getting more and more intrigued and interested in it year by year. You know what I mean? Again, like we said, the first year was like the inaugural year of the Emirates Cup. It was kind of like, whatever. People were kind of down on it. Last year was kind of like, all right, you were kind of like, oh, let's see what happens. This year, I feel like people were a little more excited. I feel like there was a little more buzz around this year, and I feel like that's going to keep building up over the next course of the years. I think, me personally, I think it's good for the NBA, because I feel like it produces quality basketball in December. You know what I'm saying? Competitive basketball in December. And like I said, these players are playing for something. You know what I mean? Some of these guys on the end of the bench, even though they might not be playing in the games, they're going to get the $500K. You know what I'm saying? I think the loser gets like $200K or whatever too, each or whatever. But that's extra money. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're like a two-way player, or you're like on a year contract, you're only making $1 million. That's significant money. You know what I'm saying? You can invest, or you can buy a house. There's a lot you can do with that. So so in that regard, I think it's dope. Now, in your opinion, what do you think? Are you kind of like me, like each year is getting better, or like?
Well, like I said, I really didn't pay attention to the first 2 years. Like, I watched it, especially the first year. I was definitely like in and out of it, like watching it, but then walking away, watching it, walking away. You know what I mean? The second year, I honestly I don't think I remember watching it, to be honest with you.
I don't think
And
I watched the
I
first
don't
year.
think
I
I
did
did.
not watch the second year.
Yeah, I don't think I watched the second year neither. And so this third year, like you said, it's football season's not, it's doesn't really play on Tuesday. Well, they don't play on Tuesday, should I
Mhm.
say. College football is not, going on no more, and they don't normally play on Tuesdays neither. And we don't have baseball. So it's like the only thing you
Yeah.
really have to watch would be this, And so I think that they have to go ahead and find a way to go ahead and continuously keep it entertaining because as we've said and other NBA analysts or NBA players have said, the NBA has gotten kind of watered down. It's gotten kind of boring.
But when
I
you
just
see,
seen the art.
and that's what I mean, right? It has gotten watered down, when you watch
Mhm.
regular season games. But when you get to this,
Yes.
it's like, okay, this felt like
Yeah.
entertaining. It kept me locked in the whole entire game. I'm not gonna lie. Possibly
Yeah.
because I'm a Knicks fan too. And De'Aaron Fox used to play for the Kings. He just recently made some
Yeah.
comments, which we're getting ready to talk about after this. But you know what I'm saying. So to me, it was just like a very interesting watch. But I am interested to see the ratings and just
Okay.
like what people are saying about it tomorrow. After this game, because I felt like it was an entertaining game, and honestly too, I felt like these were two possible contenders to get to the
Definitely.
championship.
Sure.
Like we very well could see these same two teams in the NBA Finals.
Yeah. Could be
Likely,
possible.
I would say, is it likely? It's possible. I don't know if it's likely. You got
Right.
OKC going crazy. Denver's still
Definitely.
good in the West. Houston
Mhm.
is formidable, and in the East you got
Lakers is right
Detroit looking
there.
really good. Of course you got the Knicks and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And anything can happen in the East. We've seen that happen. So
Definitely, for
but
sure.
I mean, yeah, it could be a possible preview. What are your thoughts on that? Okay, so if this was a possible preview of the NBA Finals, what would you be entertaining that seeing these two teams the way they competed today? What do you think that would
Well,
be an entertaining NBA Finals?
I'm kind of like piggybacking off of what Penny Hardaway said. I had seen him put an article, or he had did an article with somebody I happened to come across
Okay.
on Twitch, and he said like from an NBA ex player or from people who watch it,
Mm.
it seems like it's a little watered down because everybody's taking too many threes. There's not enough post game. There's not enough layups. There's not enough mid range
Well,
shots.
that's just the game in
So
general. That's just the NBA
right,
game in
right.
general
So
at this
so
point.
so with me, right, but see with me though, we come from that era. So we like to see the intensity. We like to see the I ain't gonna lie to you, like the Desmond Bain, what he did, or not Desmond Bain, but Dylan Brooks did to LeBron. That shit was entertaining to me. Why? Because it's like he's going at LeBron. That's not my partner. I'm going at him. And I know them cats don't like each other. But if you watch that game a couple days ago, boy, it was intense.
Well, now we're
It
kind of
was
getting
real
into
intense.
something else, but because for
But what
me,
I'm saying though, what
Well,
I'm saying is that
I'm saying if I'm talking about this
the
specific
intensity.
game, I enjoyed this game because I felt like everybody was playing hard,
Well,
and
it's
I don't
intensity,
I
right?
don't
Yes.
need the guys to like get in each other's face and dislike each other. I don't need that personally. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see good competitive basketball, and I want to see
Well,
people. I
it
want to
made
see
it more
players like
competitive,
really playing for something and
right?
not just lollygagging or flopping and trying to like draw fouls and something. Like that's when the game gets ugly to me. I don't want to see a whole bunch of flopping and getting to the free throw line.
Now,
One thing I did
let me
like
ask you
too,
this.
I noticed before you continue on your
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
One
yeah,
thing
go
I
ahead.
did notice is I feel like the refs weren't calling ticky tack fouls tonight. I'm like,
No, they weren't. Letting them
I
play.
would love to see the calls like that, like they were tonight. Just letting them
Yes,
play.
definitely,
You know what I mean? So
definitely.
I did kind of
Yeah,
notice that. So for me, that's the type of game I want to see. In today's NBA, I feel like that's the best we're gonna get when it comes to just being competitive. You saw back and forth shots, you saw defense, you
yeah,
saw hustling, jumping out of the stands to get the loose ball, jumping on the floor to get the loose ball. You know what I mean? A lot of defense.
yeah,
I would say good rebounding, hustling. Like I felt like that's what I expect from
yeah,
these NBA players when you're getting paid all this money to be competitive. And you won't get that on a night to night basis. I get it. It's the NBA.
yeah,
You play
for real.
82 games.
Yeah.
But, for me, but I don't need to see, but back to your point, I don't need to see guys if that happens, it's
Well,
cool,
no,
but I don't need to
I'm
see
not
it. You know what I'm
necessarily.
saying?
Oh no, I'm not saying like for me when I mentioned that it was the intensity because it leveled and it heightened the game up even more. Because if you would have watched that game,
I did not watch
the
that
game was
game.
similar. It was similar to this, to where it was going back and forth. You feel what I'm saying, as far as points being exchanged and things like that. And the closer it got towards, the end of the fourth quarter, it was getting, more intensified.
Mhm.
Because of I mean, let's just be real. Dylan Brooks, I mean, unfortunately, got teed up for jumping in LeBron's face and ended up getting kicked out the game, which kind of changed the momentum up for the Suns. I felt like so with this, I felt like to get back on topic is that this is the intensity that we want. I want to see an intense game. I don't care about the players getting into each other, but a little shit talking here and there, that's cool. But I like the intensity because when you play a watered down game, and everybody's just friendly and going through the motions, it's kind of like, well, what are we doing? Like, what are we watching right now?
Yeah, for sure.
And to ask you a question, because I did feel like the intensity was very, very up. And I want to say, do you think it was the fact because it was these young bulls playing? The young guys, and it wasn't these old veteran cats that's been in the league.
Well, like I said, I think these are two teams. I think there was a lot going on today with these two teams. I feel like there are two teams who were trying to prove themselves. There are two teams that needed a test to be like, okay, how can we hold up in high pressure moments? When the stakes are high, how are we going to show up individually and for each other, right? And I felt like it was a really good test for the Spurs and a really good test for the Knicks. But I feel like the Knicks are kind of like they're a little more seasoned because they experienced that series with the Pacers last year. That hurt not winning that, and giving up those games that they shouldn't have lost, giving up those leads they shouldn't have lost, giving up those big buckets to Halliburton that they probably feel like, okay, we should have defended that better. So they're kind of more experienced from last year, and these guys are older. Josh Hart, older guy. Cat been in the league 10 years, plus. Brunson is around there, probably like year 8 or 9 for him. I'm not sure exactly which one, but somewhere around there. So these guys are, a little more experienced. De'Aaron Fox, recently, went to the Spurs in the middle of last season. He hasn't really played a lot of meaningful basketball, so this is kind of, new to him. He's still learning. Castle, this is second year. Devin Vassell, they're real young over there. Wemby, so they really haven't played a lot of meaningful basketball yet. But I feel like they're coming and they're going to get there. So that's why I feel like this game was intense. Both of these teams trying to in different places, but just trying to figure out who they are in those moments, if that makes sense. So that I feel like that's why this game was so good tonight. Just a few of the reasons why it was so good tonight. Good coaching too. Good coaching by both teams too.
Yes,
Mike Brown and I forget the Spurs coach name. I'm sorry. If I see it, I know like that's his name, but I forget his name. But no, he's a good young coach too. Taking over for Popovich, the legend. And I feel like that's a really good team. But you never answered the question. So do you feel like this could like if you were to see this? You never answered the question. Do you feel like if we saw these two teams in the finals, do you feel like this would be a good NBA finals? Do you feel like this would be a good watch? Based on what you saw today, you're questioning that? What makes you?
I don't feel like this is gonna. I don't think it'll be every night thing.
In the finals, though, in the NBA finals, in the series,
I don't think so. I don't think you're gonna have the same intensity every night with these cats, bro.
What?
I don't think
For which team?
Well, you gotta understand. You seen what the Knicks did last year, bro. I don't think they're gonna have the same intensity playing in the finals against a younger Spurs team who has more energy. No, not. But
well, like I just said, they have the experience. But when you go through something, like I just said, you just went through that last year. And like I said, like when you have that experience, and now and now you win this Emirates Cup, even though it's like it's not the championship, but you win this, you're like, okay, all right, what I'm saying. So now heading into those moments where you get those opportunities again to play in high stakes moments, I feel like they would show up. I feel like they would. You know what I mean?
I would hope so. I think they would. I don't know.
I don't think they would revert back to what they did, because if you did that, then it's like, okay, you got to make some trades. Like,
trades. Yeah.
I don't think they would do that.
I don't think it would be a 7-game series if it did happen.
And who do you think will win?
So. Man, if the Knicks did anything like Indiana, the Indiana series, definitely.
But that's what I'm saying. You got and that's what I guess we're looking at it differently because like I said, I feel like they learn from that. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna see. Just we
gonna see.
And I feel like they have a better coach. And when it comes to rotations, that makes a huge. Because when you had a guy who wasn't really making rotations, he wasn't playing his bench.
Yeah, he was not.
That makes a difference. So
7-8 in rotation.
So between that experience they had last year and now having a new coach and winning this, and I don't know. I feel like it would be a good NBA finals, but